Alright, welcome to lesson 136, using addition and subtraction to solve equations. So, to start off, we should talk a little bit about what an equation is. So, an equation is anytime you say something equals something. So, you would say 8 equals 4 plus 4, alright? They both equal the same 8, alright? That's how equations always are. Both sides have to be equal in order for it to be equal. So if you were going to subtract anything from 8, if you say 8 minus 3 equals, you have to say 4 plus 4 minus 3, all right? Because that's the only way it's going to stay equal if you subtract it from both of them, all right? So today what they're going to do is show you how, if you have something like this, a minus 5 equals 8, if you do the same thing to both sides, you can figure out what a is. So, how do you get rid of, basically, how do we move this over to this side? Because we know how to work with two numbers. It's the letter that makes it confusing. Well, to get rid of a negative 5, you need to add a 5. So you go plus 5 plus 5. All right? Now, minus 5 plus 5, that cancels. That makes 0. So this side comes down to just a. This side becomes 13. So you can see that a equals 13. And you can check it to make sure you're right. If you take a, 13, minus 5, does that equal 8? Yes, it does. And you do exactly the opposite, or the same thing, if it would be an addition thing. So, if you would have, for instance, a plus 2 equals 9, just looking at it, you already know what that answer is. But we'll just show you how to figure it out, because eventually we're going to get to problems where you can't just look at that and figure it out, and you need to do it the right way. So we want to move this over here, all right? So that's addition. So in order to take it off of here, we need to subtract, and we need to do the same over here because it's an equation. So these cancel. That gives you a equals 7. Does that make sense that 7 plus 2 would equal 9? Yes, it does. All right, and so that's what you're going to be doing today. So, part A, write addition or subtraction to tell what you need to do to solve these equations. All right, so they have 3 plus c equals 15, and basically they're saying, in order to get rid of this, what do you need to do on this problem? Well, this is a positive number, so you're going to need to go negative or subtract and subtract. So basically the answer for number 1 is subtraction, because that's the operation that you need to do to figure it out. All right, let's go down to part B. Solve these equations, show each step of your work. All right, so number 5, we have 5 plus c equals 11. So, what did I, oh, c, not 3. So we're trying to figure out what c is. So we have, and if there's no sign in front of here, that means it's positive, all right? If it was negative, it would have a negative sign. So in order to get rid of a positive 5, we need to subtract 5, 11, and subtract 5. These cancel. C equals 6. Does it make sense that 5 plus 6 is 11? Yes, it does. All right. Now, let's get down to one that's maybe a little harder. Let's go to like number 15. So, number 15, we have y minus 2 cubed equals 27 divided by 3. Now, this one you're going to have to do a couple steps before you can figure out what that number is, because if you remember, you have to do exponents, multiplication, division, all that first. So this one here, we need to do some steps. So you got 2 squared is, 2 cubed actually, would be 8. And you need to divide that, so that would be 9. Y minus 8 is 9. So it's a negative 8. So we got to add 8. Add 8. These cancel. Y equals 17. All right? And you can go back here and see if that makes sense. 17 minus 8 equals 9. And it does. All right. Hopefully that made sense. If you have any questions on that, you can feel free to ask. Actually, I just noticed that they want you to, in the reading problems, let's do number 17. They want you to fill in an equation. So, number 17. The sum of 3 numbers is 25. 2 of the numbers are 7 and 8. What is n, the third number? So you need to take that problem and write an equation just like it says. So it says 3 numbers, the sum of 3 numbers equals 25. One of the numbers is 7, one is 8, and one is n. What's that third one? Now this is one of those again where you could easily figure this out without doing it properly, but don't do that because eventually you're not going to be able to do that. So all we have is addition, so we'll just do our addition. So we have 15 plus n equals 25. We need to get this over there. So this is a positive, so we go negative 15, negative 15. And these cancel, n equals 10. And you can see that 7 plus 8 plus 10 would equal 25. This is going to become a very common sort of reading problem, so learn how to do these right. They're going to give you one in 19 as well. It's going to be one that you're going to work at an equation, and eventually they won't give you the little blanks. You'll have to figure out your formula yourself. So, any questions, feel free to ask.